All right, welcome to another episode of Life in DR, Long Life in Dominican Republic. I'm your host, Saint, and this week we bring you another episode with some updates that's going on with me. How was my week? What kind of events we had going on? And additionally, I want to answer a couple questions that was brought up from the last episode and give some clarifications of what took place. So again, I'm your host, Saint Man, and I'm just glad you guys is able to take in that first episode. So this week, what we're gonna cover is mainly how was my week, right? Well, my week was fantastic because not only I was able to take two parts of my life here in Dominican Republic and combined it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired, but it allows me to continue to thrive in DR and the life that I have provided for myself. Uh, I was able to, I have this group of guys who has been coming here for the last, I believe, 3 years. I met them when I was hanging out with a buddy of mine who visits often, and we connected. And since then, every January they come to DR, and sometime in September, what I do for them is just take them out. I show them around, and I help them enjoy themselves, but I also take away the headaches. What I mean by the headaches, because here at DR is great and everything, but as a lot of you know, and if you don't know, there's different prices, there's different treatments for people if you're here, from here, or if you're visiting. So there's the gringo prices. Yes, that's the thing. Gringo prices meaning when you go out, food, drinks, anything that's non-branded names. So if you're at a supermarket, obviously no prices can change. But if you're gonna go out to a restaurant, a bar, or certain places, yeah, those things happen. So I prevent that by going with them, translating, speaking Spanish, and also knowing the land. So I was able to take them out and show them a good time. They're still here. They're going to be here till Tuesday, so I'm still working at. But that's something I do here in the Dominican Republic to not only continue to make the lifestyle that I want here in DR, but additionally to give people that experience of knowing, hey, I'm in great company, I'm going to be taken care of, and at the end, it's going to cost me a lot less compared to if I'm here alone. And I do that for all peoples, single travelers, couples, groups. However, I hosted a bachelor party just a couple months ago, 24 guys. And that was a lot, but we put two vans together and we were able to pick them up from the airport, and additionally, I take them to their resort, and every time they wanted to go out, I set everything up for them, and that allows them to worry free. And 24 guys, it's a lot of connection. We set up excursions and all these things. But this particular, I have a group of guys from Jamaica, we taking care of them. And the second part of my week is I was able to then go back to the camp I help out here in Manta La Indios, and amazing feeling. As soon as something I've learned the last few times, every time I go to that campsite, the campo they call the village, I get a different experience when I arrive. The first time it was like, oh, I see their car, they're running. And another time it's like, oh, they see me and they just attack and hugs and jump on me, and I love that. And last time it was just, there's a picture on my social media that I'm being hugged by 4 kids, and you can see the love in that picture. And as of yesterday, we were able to go there, and I made a great purchase for me because I love to give the eye view of what I experience, why I love what I do so much. And you'll see it on my social media, Saints, my homeboy, all outlets. It's a video where I get to the campsite, and by the time I get there, I get greeted by a kid, and after 2 words, he jumps on me and he's on me for a while, but you don't see all of it. But it's just that interaction you can't beat. And then greeted by the pastor, and then so on and so on. Again, go check it out. I don't want to get to it, but that's how my weekend was. What an amazing weekend, or week, I should say, like hosting people, making sure they have a good time, and additionally, continuing to do what I'm passionate about, what my purpose is about. So my life in DR, I've created the life I wanted, the lifestyle, and there's still a lot of work about that. So we're doing that. So again, Dominican Republic is different for everybody, but for me, that's what my day-to-day and working remotely in tech and doing the things I do. And for you, wherever you may be right now, if you want to move to DR, you gotta think about what lifestyle do you want. What's the best part for you to move in? And so those are the things you want to talk about, and that's what we're bringing you in this podcast. Again, if you didn't watch the first episode, go back and I'll give you a little more breakdown. This podcast is not about just my life in DR, but it's gonna be about hopefully over hundreds of people. We can get different guests that's going to tell you about their experience, going to tell you what they're going through, what they like, what they don't like, what would they change, and what part of the country. So that's, again, why this podcast is so different, why I'm so excited to continue bringing weeks after weeks. Starting next week, we're going to start bringing in our guests so you can really get that experience from different people. So something I want to touch on is a big question that was asked for. Hey, what exactly happened when you ran into the authorities here in DR being a Haitian? I want to talk about that is because, well, for me, I was coming from my favorite part of the beach. As I told you, part of the city, the country, Las Terrenas, and I was on the bus. I was just sitting back because I wanted to get back into my apartment and start working. And I felt good. I had a great weekend. And something kind of told me, hey, you know what? Go later on. I wasn't driving at the moment. Go later on. And just the bus was full. I was like, no, it's okay. I'll do with it. I'll make the uncomfort. And, you know, sometimes when you put yourself in a situation where you shouldn't be and you don't listen to that, your first instinct, things could happen to you, and that's what happened to me. It still shouldn't have happened, but it did. And what happened is, on the way we got to the city, once we got here, which shouldn't happen, immigration went on the bus and asked the only two black people that look Haitianized on the bus for ID, and I didn't have a Dominican ID. So if you don't have a Dominican ID, now we need to run and check everything. Are you here legally or this? And as I said previously, last episode, my passport was in processing. So coming from the beach, very happy, excited to be back in the city, and just being on the bus, taking off for a charter bus and throw it in the back. And again, I thought I would be processed, seeing they would look in the system, see I'm being processed for my new documentation to be here legally. They didn't. They put me in a cell where I was there waiting. It was clean. It was this. And then all of a sudden, around 11 that same day at nighttime, they told me, oh, no, we're going to move you. I was on the side where it was more people from, I remember it was a guy from Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, and different things. So they treat them. They have the running water. They have drinking water. They have outlets to charge your phone. They have beds to sleep on. They have all those things. So I was like, okay, I'll just wait it out and figure this out. But once they moved me to the side where the Haitians are being held, there was absolutely nothing. There is no bed. There is no nothing. It's just a giant room of cold cement. And I had to sleep in there. So those are the things, and that's what happened to me. It's very, honestly, I hope no one has to go through that, but I know it's not correctly because they're trying to deport so many Haitians. But we're not gonna dwell on that. I just wanted to give more in depth what happened to me, because it was as I'm doing so much work, I'm bringing in the revenue in this country, but yet that could still happen, and we're just gonna make sure we don't put ourselves in that predicament again, where we're in a position to be picked up by anyone where we're not able to clarify or make ourselves well known that that won't happen to us. So that was to answer that question from a few people that wanted more in depth of what actually happened to me. But that's life. We got to continue to grow. We got to continue to make adjustments. But that was to break. So now, what we have coming up for you is Life in DR. We have a few things where we're going to then not only give you my favorite parts, but we're going to actually give you the favorite parts and explain what these different parts are and why do you want to visit those different places. So, for example, this week I want to talk about another one of my favorite places to visit is Puerto Plata. And Puerto Plata is amazing, especially for you people that want to do the Instagrammable places visit and take pictures. That's going to be colorful. Puerto Plata is north of the island, but just the east side north of the island. And there's a ship cruise that go there, and it's got very different memorable spaces you go. So there's the Umbrella Street. Umbrella Street is a street full of different umbrellas, and you can actually go and play hopscotch through it and get different angles. And then they got the Pink Hall, which is just a very pink everywhere thing, and you can take pictures on there. For you ladies, it is a super dope place. Gentlemen, there's other parts of it too, old school phones. But it is a space you can go there, get food, very hipsterish, very thing. But again, that part of the country, there is a nearby airport. You can get there for it, but it is the Puerto Plata airport. But at the end of the day, it's getting more developed. But that is one of my other favorite places to visit that I would recommend. And how do you get there a little bit? Comment below, and then I can give you more detail how you get there. But there is a direct airport in Puerto Plata that allows you to go experience that north part of the island. Of course, there's beaches and different experience that you can do. And now, what I got working on again is one of those things for me. We still got the project being worked on. We still got my foundation, Reasons to Smile, that we continue to do, because it's that important to continue to grow and make a difference in so many lives. Yesterday, I know I said what we did, but now I'm going to touch on that a little bit more. Yesterday, we were able to bring toys to the children and the community, and then additionally, we fed them. So it's for Three Kings Days. We are a couple weeks behind, but that's when the time we were able to get all the toys together, everyone's schedule. But we were able to bring over 100 pieces of toys to the children, and then we fed them, played games with them. There's an interaction with one of the volunteers where he didn't have a hat on, and all the boys were rubbing his head, pretty much like when we were growing up, as I'll shine your head for a quarter. And then it's so much love in that community, and I'm just grateful to be part of it and just have those type of experience. And I want to share those experiences. I want to talk about those experiences again, because DR, if you want to move here or you want a vacation here, you can make it happen. You just got to, again, figure out which part of the country is for you, what you're looking for, and what you want to accomplish in this space. And we'll go from there. And is DR for everyone? No, not really. DR is not for everyone, because you gotta kind of know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, DR is not a place you come find it, because it will chew you up, spit you out, Or you do come here and you're able to just figure it out. But again, if you're not speaking the language, you might want to practice and work on your Spanish and do those type of things, because I said it before, I'll say it again. It is a dog eat dog world, and if you think you're gonna just come out here and figure it out, it's not. It took me a long time to figure out myself, but I'm at peace. I'm in my space. I know what I'm like. I'm happy. I'm really happy where we're at in this space and what we accomplished. Now, recommendation, I kind of told you my favorite recommendation coming to DR here. I recommend you doing this. Your first trip, if you want to come to DR, you need a minimum of 4 days to do it. Depends where you're coming from in the States or Europe or Africa, or wherever. It's going to vary on your schedule, because if it's a long flight, you're going to need a day to recuperate. But if it's a quicker flight, well, if you're a more laid back person, maybe the 4 days you'll be good. But if you're a person that want to go do 4 or 5 different things and squeeze it into your one trip, you're not really going to enjoy that trip, because what about the place, the restaurant you want to go to has a dress code you didn't know of. When you get there, you're not able to go. Now you started late. And I'm giving you this because I just helped someone recently that this past week, they cram a, I would say, 6-day vacation into 4 days. And their first night, they wanted to go to the Cave restaurant, and they wasn't able to make it because their dress was entire and they went too late. So you got to think about those times. If you're a person that's a planner, plan it with in between times and a layoff day, so you don't have to feel like you're rushing and your vacation turning into a stress station. So those are some feedbacks. That's my recommendation. When you are coming to DR, give yourself time. Give yourself time to enjoy it, and give yourself time that allows you to go with the flow sometime. Yes, you can have a plan, but what about you make some friends and they invite you somewhere? Experience it. Experience to the fullest, because again, Dominican Republic is the #1 tourist destination. And if you choose to come here, imagine how many other people are doing it. So allow yourself to be happy, allow yourself to have time to be focused on those things. So that's what we are. That's what this podcast is going to be, is giving you feedback. And like I said, moving forward, we're going to invite some new guests to give you different aspects. And then eventually we're going to then go to different locations, different cities and towns of Dominican Republic, and talk to different people that choose to live their lives here and what part they choose to live in, and find out why they choose that particular space to make their new home. Again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Life in Dominican Republic podcast show. I'm your host, Saint, and I look forward to speaking with you next week with our guests. Stay tuned. And as always, I love you guys. I am, because we are.